Right, I'm going to talk today about mindset, guys, because mindset is the key attribute in business that's going to take you from being in that startup zone, then taking you to 5 figures, taking you to 6 figures, and ultimately taking you to 7 figures. You've got to have a mindset, a growth mindset at every given opportunity. And I speak to a lot of founders that are very scared and nervous from the outset. They feel that they constantly need to be working. They feel that they constantly need to be on the tools. They feel that they constantly need to put themselves forward. They don't want to hire, because if they do that, it's going to put pressure on their P&L. They don't plan and plot. They don't have a growth mindset that's going to take them forward. And the only way that you're going to really grow your business is by having a real mindset that's going to allow you that thinks about having a 7-figure business while you're in the early stages. Now, you've got to start thinking early on about how you're going to take yourself off that business. What I mean by that is you're never going to grow. You're never going to be a 7-figure recruitment business owner, and you're never going to be able to scale and grow something that's really going to be of value if it's going to be all about you. Take it from me. I'm someone that I learned this lesson not straight away in business. I learned this lesson a few years into running a business. I got myself too embedded, too intrinsic in all different relationships, and I didn't start replacing myself as soon as possible. You've got to start thinking about how you can delegate. You've got to start thinking about, how important your time is and value your time. Offshoring, the first thing you need to be thinking about when you start is how you can offshore, how you can get someone to take on a lot of your responsibilities. Then you need to start thinking about how you can get another recruiter in. You need to start thinking about who can develop those client relationships. How can the client buy into the brand as opposed to just you as the individual? And that's how you need to think straight away. If you don't think like that, you're going to be stuck. You're going to be stuck in a place where you're probably going to be reliant on doing 20, 30 grand weeks, when that's never going to take you to where you want to be. And a lot of the business owners that I talk to, they're stuck in this rut. They think the market's hard, the market's tough. And look, market conditions for many right now are quite tough. But if you've got that resilient mindset, if you can go into a bad month and still think about how you're going to grow, then you've got a great future in the business. I'll tell you something, my toughest months that I had, that I think about now, are ones where I can smile about, where I can tell stories, that I share stories with you, where actually that's how we went into battle. It was a really hard battle, but we won. And the reason we won is because we didn't give up. We kept thinking about how we can grow. So what I really think is important, if you're at the early stages of your business, or if you're stuck in a rut on that $20,000 or $30,000 a month, is start thinking about how you can grow. Don't think about how you can survive. You've got to stop thinking about how you can grow. And the way you grow is investing in the right systems, is investing in offshoring, and starting to replace yourself. Invest in marketing, invest in building out your brand. Always have that growth mentality in there. One thing that resilience has probably been, without me even knowing it, it's probably been a virtue that I've managed to, that's held me in good stead. I've nearly gone bust twice, right? What happened to me in 2016 was very particular to what happened in Dubai, in the sense that the oil price crashed from $120 a barrel down to about $20 a barrel. I had a ton of staff in Dubai. I'm talking like way more than I have now. Fortunately, like 80% of our job orders kind of fell off the cliff, right? And I was just left with this group of people who had lots of jobs before and then didn't have them anymore. Realistically, we could only prop that up for a certain amount of time as an independently funded firm. So I had to make some tough decisions. I laid off quite a few people. I moved quite a few people over to our Asia Pacific business that was doing well. Fortunately, a lot of people went with that. They were single, they were able to move quickly. And our Dubai business, we had to put it into survival mode. Now I look back at what I did then, and now I can talk about it and go, wow, I know from what we learned in that lesson, that's how we survived COVID. That's how we've managed to thrive in a good market, because when we took our business so lean, when we stripped it back going through those tough times, we actually learned a heck of a lot of lessons. I learned a lot of lessons about me personally, but I also learned a lot about, why do I need this many staff? What costs have we got going on? It really made me analyze the business, all sorts of stuff that really held me in good stead to grow again. Now, I didn't shrivel up. I didn't wither on the vine at that point. I thought about how we can grow again from the lessons that we've learned from the pain that we've had. So guess what happened when COVID happened? All those things that happened to us when the oil price crashed, we just put them into mode. We knew we had to cost cut. We knew what elements of the business we needed to really focus on. We didn't really need to cost cut that much. We actually had really good systems and tools, and we've developed those systems and tools and got them better as time's gone on. Now, in 2023, when the market sort of slowed down straight after 2022, that's when I really decided to completely transform the business again. And what I did did there was I put us into a layered approach. We were doing like $4 million, which was great. What I did was I looked at how can we continue to do $4 million, but with fewer people. And that was, I wanted to offshore more, I wanted to bring more tools in, I wanted to build out our marketing, and I wanted to start remove our 360 recruiters. So what I did was I brought in the layered approach then. And the layered approach is the one that I truly believe in. That's where you've got offshore teams handling all your candidate delivery, your client management, dealing with your clients in the core area, your marketing and BD function operating together, and your ops team supporting you completely from that. Having that structure has allowed us to trim our numbers, increase our profits, and grow further. And I wouldn't have learned any of that had I not been through downturns. You know, what I could say to everyone, even in a tough time, is you've got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. You've got to embrace the failure. You've got to embrace the hard times. Because if you don't embrace them, if you don't actually take on board all the lessons that you're going to learning, they're never going to serve you well in the long run. And what's enabled my business to grow now and to say a good 7-figure company is from all the pain that I felt before. These are things I'm going to share in our course, of course, but I just want to make that clear to everyone on my YouTube audience, exactly why I think we've managed to stand the test of time. Why we've been in business for 14 years is because we've embraced the failure, we've had 2 severe downturns, and we've come out the other side. And I now just have a confidence as a result of doing that. There's nothing that's going to knock me down, and there's nothing that's really going to phase me. So, you know, this year we've had a couple of shit months, but we've had some good months after that. That's life, okay? I'm not going to go nuts after a bad month. I'm going to have faith that we can recover because we've done it before. And I hope that gives people encouragement. I hope that gives some advice on mindset. And if you're interested in our course and finding out more about what I teach, then just drop a message in the comments below.